Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Main Character Syndrome. I'm your host, Cheesymanfredo, aka Alfredo Morales. And with me here today again, my trusty co-host, Julian. My Julian, there he is.
Yep, that's
Say
me.
hi. Yep, there he is. And with us today, we're back to double guesting again. By popular demand, Tectonic Improv.
Hello! I'm back!
There he is. There he is. Back again. You know what else is back? His COVID. It's back.
Was this ever explained on any sort of media? I have COVID. So. I have COVID right now.
He has COVID again.
Kind of diseased.
Trigger warning, COVID does appear in this recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof.
So, you know.
So just mask up if you're going to listen to this.
Exactly. I got my mask.
Those people with long COVID, they're gonna thumbs down this video. You're like, what the fuck? So insensitive.
The real ones. Unlike the manlet COVID that I had back in August. But who is that over there here coming back again? We got ToyaVA. Say hello, Toya.
Hey everybody, it's me, Lake ToyaVA, aka Lore Master. I'm just here chilling on Main Character Syndrome, having a good time.
Lore Master of what?
The forbidden lore.
Like Bleach? You know about Bleach?
Yeah, I do know about Bleach actually. Yeah, I kind of do. I do, just a bit.
Kind of a Bleach head, if you will.
Only like deep Bleach heads will know this one. What's Ichigo's sword's name?
Oh fuck.
Anyone else can chime in too if they know
it's,
it.
A Master Blaster.
Ichigo's sword. Is his name of the sword? He calls it Ichigo's sword.
I've successfully purged my brain of all Bleach information, so unfortunately,
you fools! His name is Zangetsu.
Haha! There it is. All right, so you had me going there for a bit, Toya. I was worried. I was worried that
I was gonna guess that.
I saw it was right off the tip of your tongue. I could hear it about to come out.
I was gonna guess that, but Toya beat me to it, like he always
faster.
does, stealing my glory.
Sorry, I try to play it fast and cool, but like the second Bleach comes up, I just lose my cool.
You transform.
Yeah.
You become more bleached than man.
Exactly. Have you guys seen that that TikTok filter that turns him into like a werewolf?
What?
Yeah.
That's me, dude.
It's the one where it's like a guy wearing a fedora and he's at a party, and off screen there's a couple of bullies bullying people.
Oh no.
And this guy's like, "Hey, stop doing that." And they're like, "Or what?" and then he transformed into like a 3D model of like a werewolf, but like a model that was obviously designed by someone who was super horny for werewolves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then hero save us. I'm not gonna stand in his way. Starts playing.
Cheesy, you know what you should do? Make like a parody version of that comic where the guy's like, "You don't want to mess with me, bro," and then he transforms instead of into a werewolf, he transforms into a diaper.
That would scare the shit out of people.
That would be terrifying.
If I could condense that into like 4 panels, maybe. I've been kind of on the 4-panel comic grind recently. I call them fart comics because they're just like ideas that I get, and I was like, oh, that'd be funny, and then
I've been liking them. I've been liking them
Thank
lately.
you.
I like the Mario one. That one was funny.
Wow.
I share a handful around with people that I think will be receptible to them.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. The titling logic is like way more. It's way better than the reasoning I came up with. Whenever you called them fart comics, I just thought, oh yeah, 4 starts with F, fart starts with F.
That's what I was thinking too. It was like 4 art reaction to the masses comic or Twitter.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized,
you know what? That'd be perfect. Actually, I'm just gonna say that's what it was the whole time. You know, I'm just gonna take credit for that.
There you go.
By the way,
thank you.
I just realized 4 has 4 letters in it. Isn't that pretty neat?
Holy
That's pretty
shit.
interesting.
Yeah.
There's probably some like stupid name for a phenomenon like that.
The guy who came up with Fan 4 Stick is probably like pissing his pants right now. He's getting owned so hard.
That piece of shit.
Who? Josh Trank?
Well,
he's pretty owned.
Well, do you mean like the movie or like the name itself? Calling it Fan Four Stick, because I don't think the studios wanted people to call it that.
Was it?
I am referring to like how it's being branded, like all of their decisions and how they went into like, yes, this is how we want the title to look.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was probably some like YouTuber guy who probably called it that, and then he just caught on.
It's probably like lateral thinking. Like I'm sure a lot of people thought of Fan Four Stick at the same time, because it's just kind of what you want to say when they do like the letter or a number instead of letter thing, which I feel like people, or maybe like studios, I feel like they got bullied out of doing that after everyone just keeps making Fan Four Sticks or Scriforums or it's always 4.
Or Vivitch.
Yeah,
I like the Vivitch.
The Vivitch is a little different, but yeah.
Wait,
Vivitch.
Exactly.
That's what I say if I saw a scary Vivitch in the woods.
What is a Vivitch?
That movie's really scary, I bet.
It is pretty scary. What did you ask, Toyo? Who's the Vivitch?
Yeah, what is that? I'm not familiar.
It's a movie. I forget the name of the director, but he's pretty
something Eggers, right?
Yeah, isn't it like?
Is it Robert
Daniel
Eggers?
Yeah, Robert Eggers. Oh, yeah. You're so right. Yes.
He did. Well, now I don't remember the name of his latest movie.
He did The Northman was his last one,
yeah.
I think.
And,
The
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse, which was good. Both good movies. He was supposed to do a remake of Nosferatu, but
is that not happening anymore?
No, and you know why it's not happening?
Oh no.
You know, because Morbius bombed.
Are you serious? Wait, hold on. Are you fucking? You can't be real.
That can't be right. I thought it did pretty good.
No, it didn't. It bombed twice. But basically,
it made more money than Shazam 2.
It's
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Rip Shazam 2. Yeah, sad to hear that. It's always the ones who didn't deserve it. But that being said, no, because it's kind of like the CEO logic of like Morbius is a vampire movie, so they're all like, oh, people don't like vampire movies, like stop all production of vampire related movies, and like his was on the slate.
Yeah, you always have to be like, oh, well, what's the stupidest possible reason I can think of as to why they would cancel this, and the reason's usually that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's kind of like CEOs or the people who choose the projects they're not like human. They're more like robots. And they don't have like tastes. They're just like kind of aware of things that people like or what they think people like. So
and they're not deserving of rights.
True. Hard agree.
So like,
and I was really looking forward to that Nosferatu remake. He was gonna get I think he was gonna get Willem Dafoe again. He used him for the Lighthouse and Northman. Yeah, that would have been so good. Willem Dafoe is great.
It's my like most like fucked up role that I think Willem Dafoe fits perfectly in. But it's like such a bad movie. It's insane.
Okay, what?
That Death Note live action movie.
Oh, that was perfect.
Where he was
I completely
Ryuk.
forgot about that.
Yeah, it's crazy like how well he like looks as Ryuk, and how bad that movie is.
I do remember people actually kind of hyped for that casting. It's not a bad idea.
It's just so
Same
frustrating.
With what was his name? Lakeith Stanfield. I think he was L. I think people liked maybe not. I think people like the actor because he's he's Darius in Atlanta, and he's a good actor, but I don't know if he's exactly a good L. I think they make him like cooler or something in the movie.
They also give him like a super weird run.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, because he's like hunched over while he runs, and he just like kind of looks like a goblin.
Does he do like the Devilman Crybaby run?
It's really silly like that, but
he was also method acting for that movie apparently, because there's like interviews where he would be in character as L.
Oh boy.
And they would mention like Shinigami's in the interview, and he would like pretend to get all freaked out, like Shinigami's.
Oh my god!
It's pretty goddamn. It's so funny. I fucking hate method acting.
Yeah, it gets a pretty bad rap these days.
I feel like I think the biggest kind of like because I think someone tweeted this out one time, and I think this is like the perfect bullet against method acting. Is like no one wants to like method act like a nice person. You notice that? They always like method act assholes. So it always feels like it's more an excuse to be a douche rather than like, oh, this is all for acting. And it's like, well, you can just act like a douche instead of like have the acting as be a douche.
Send your coworkers used condoms.
Oh, base. Yeah, exactly. That's what the Joker would do if he had coworkers.
He definitely would have done that. Yeah.
Yeah, real Joker move.
I forget who said this. It was some like pretty famous actor, but they have like a quote about method acting where it's like, "Oh, no, of course I don't method act. I just regular act because that's my job."
Yeah. It was
That sounds like Bryan Cranston.
I think there was another. I can't remember the specifics of where this quote come from, but it was very similar energy to what you just said, where it's like, I think this one actor was talking about, he was on set and one of his like the other actors on set was kind of like, yeah, my character is supposed to be sleep deprived in this scene, so I haven't slept in like 2 days just to kind of like be sleep deprived. And he's all like, what? Like, have you just considered acting like you're sleep deprived?
Yeah, like we might be thinking of the same quote. I might have just like misremembered it or something.
Yeah, I'm like hella butchering it because I swear it was like Marlon Brando or maybe it was someone else.
Listen, I'm not gonna completely like shut down like method acting. Like if you were like say to like play a lumberjack and you're just like, oh yeah, no, I actually decided to work as a lumberjack for like 2 weeks just kind of like see what it's like. Get like I don't know.
That's kind of like research, you know. That's kind of like a lumberjack would do all this. Method acting would be kind of like if he picked a human lumberjack to imitate and just be his life, like home to his wife and kids and pretend he's married to them.
I'm playing a wife beater, so it was a rare couple of weeks for my wife.
Sorry, miss, but
Hollywood actor, method acted as a pedo officer.
You don't understand.
No, I was just method acting, sir. Oh, you're free to go.
The only method actor that I support is John Hamm in that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, I love that episode.
I haven't.
That episode was so great.
I don't think I've seen like any Curb Your Enthusiasm outside of a few clips. I feel like I can't watch it unless I've seen a lot of Seinfeld.
Well, it's so funny because Curb is kind of like, it's the title is a reference to Seinfeld because once the next, it was like at the end of Seinfeld and then like they announced, oh, Larry David, co-creator of Seinfeld, is doing another show. And he titled the show Curb Your Enthusiasm as a kind of response to the Seinfeld fans, like, calm down. This isn't
Seinfeld 2. Yeah,
this is not Seinfeld 2, which is funny because I think season 7 is a Seinfeld reunion.
Yes, yeah. I've heard about that.
Yeah, and it was a pretty funny season because it's all about him trying to get back with like his ex-wife. So he like just agrees to the Seinfeld reunion so he could hire his ex-wife and then get very close to her, right?
That always works.
And there's also this like running joke where because a lot of Seinfeld like actors show up in Curb, and there's this running joke where like Jason Alexander, who's the guy who plays George Costanza, for anyone who doesn't know, George Costanza is specifically based on Larry David, like it's supposed to be him, right? And there's kind of a running joke where like Jason Alexander will keep insulting like the character of George, saying like what kind of like what piece of shit would act like this, and Larry takes it personally because he's all like that's me. You're talking shit about me, right?
Who would eat something out of the trash? That's fucking disgusting. It's like
it's so funny watching Larry David on Curb and then watching interviews of him because like you could kind of like because the character of Larry David on Curb is kind of like this guy who like won't let stuff go and he'll take things to a very annoying level. And if you watch Larry David in an interview, it's kind of like, it feels like any second he could become that guy, but he's like holding himself back. And it's almost like Larry David on the show is him if he let all of his intrusive thoughts out, you know?
Unfettered Larry David, unchained.
Unchained, yeah. It's a good ass show. I'd say the first like 2 seasons are kind of like rough, and it feels very like early 2000s. Also, the show is very much like there'd be moments where Larry will make himself seem like a totally cool, like badass guy because he's like running the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's just cool.
Yeah. And every season there's like a running joke where like current popular like celebrity of that time shows up that season, and they kind of become the enemy of Larry David. Larry's kind of like he's kind of like anti-Goku. He like looks for the most disabled person in the room so he could fight them.
I can't lose a fight against a cripple.
Right. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Every time you see a disabled person in an episode of Curb, I instantly think like, oh fuck, Larry's gonna have to fight this guy eventually.
this is the next villain for the arc.
Yeah.
Larry's gotta watch out. I don't think he can take this one.
Right. But
this polio victim might be a little too much for him this time. He's gonna have to go into the training hyperbolic time chamber with Jerry.
Yeah, and much like Goku, Larry eventually he does fight them, but usually they become like his buddy for the season.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah, and that kind of leads to all like sorts of shenanigans. There was like one
Curb was like an anime.
I think it could work. They
become his Vegeta.
His Vegeta would be. I'm trying to think. I don't think he has Vegeta, but he does get like a black sidekick named Leon. Leon Black is his name.
Oh my god!
And I forget the name of the actor, but he's also in I think he's in the Spider-Man movies. Like he's one of the teachers in the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. But I forget his name, which is awful.
Richard Lewis would be Vegeta.
Oh, Richard Lewis would be his Vegeta. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god! Wait, Richard Lewis?
He's another comedian.
Oh, okay. I was like, isn't that the Nazi guy?
I thought okay. I thought he had like something to do with like gaming or something. I think
Warren Spencer.
I think Richard Lewis is the name of, or is a very similar name to this guy named Slasher, who was like a WoW guy.
No,
like World of
that's
Warcraft guy.
That's Rod.
It's
Rod
always
whatever.
World of Warcraft.
But he like pivoted to like general like streamer news or something a few years ago. But I don't think he posts much these days. I don't think his name's Richard Lewis, but I don't know. That's
no. There's another esports person. Richard Lewis.
Oh,
and he's kind of he's British.
Common name, I feel like.
Very, very popular name. I guess it's a very popular name. I gotta say, Curb. I ken Larry David on Curb. Not gonna lie, and it's funny because you're not supposed to idolize him because he's like an awful person.
Yeah.
Right. And
boys are like, I love Walter White. Well, men are like, I love Larry David.
I want to do a fart comic where it's like it's me and there's like all these like Christian, there's like priests and like pastors and like also like all the kind of like, the Christian religions are trying to convert me, and I'm like with my hands up. And then the other side is just Larry David, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Larry David." And then like in the last panel, I'm like, please let me be Jewish. Please let me convert to Judaism, please. But those Jews, they're stingy. They don't just convert anybody. You gotta be pretty funny to convert to Jewish. And I don't think I have the chops. They told me.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you could have the chops, and then maybe you just couldn't handle it. Like with what happened to John Mulaney. Like that's what happened to John Mulaney, right?
Oh boy, yeah. Didn't he like cheat on his wife with some crazy bitch or something?
He divorced his wife, and then his lovely Jewish wife that he made, or that a lot of his comedy was like based around him having like being so much in love with his wife, divorced her, and then like 2 weeks later it's like Olivia Munn is like, yes, I am pregnant with John Mulaney's kid.
Oh my god!
Now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's something like that. And then also he checked into rehab over like some sort of substance abuse. I think it might have been cocaine, not sure. So, grain of salt and all that. I'm sure someone in the comments will be like, well, Tectonic actually got this and this wrong. So,
Obviously.
He's actually a terrible person for misrepresenting John Mulaney like this. I still think he's funny. But that's pretty crazy.
Wife guys always have like a hidden darkness in them.
It's true.
Yeah, so you can't trust them.
They have that TikTok werewolf in them.
Yeah. Olivia Munn couldn't resist.
Couldn't resist the bad boy edge that was John Mulaney.
I wish I was famous so I could get like addicted to cocaine.
And then, well, Toya, you don't have to be famous to get addicted to cocaine. It just makes it easier to facilitate.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have a lot more money to get addicted to cocaine.
True.
I'm sorry for my outburst. I thought you were talking about Olivia Wilde.
Oh no. No, Olivia Munn from Attack of the Show, if you'll recall.
I used to love that show.
Is Olivia Wilde? Was she in Scott Pilgrim? Or am I thinking of someone else?
You're thinking of
someone else.
What's her? The gloomy girl, the one who played Julie.
Yeah,
the one
Aubrey
Plaza.
Right?
Yes,
yeah.
Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, at least that's
so
what
crazy.
I think you're thinking of. Maybe Olivia Wilde is in the movie, and I just don't remember.
Could be. There's a lot of people in that movie.
You're thinking of Michael Cera, dummy.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Haha, oopsie. Forgot about that.
My first thought was Anna Kendrick.
Oh, that's true. She's in it too. She's Scott's sister, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I always forget that like Scott has a sister who is like a somewhat, maybe not a major character, but like a minor character in several of the books. Just always forget about Stacy.
What do you think of Scott Pilgrim?
Has the news come out since the last podcast?
For the
Have you
anime?
talked about it yet?
No, we haven't talked about like the well, this is like the second time they announced the anime, but now it's like more official that like, oh yeah, we're getting all the people from the movie, which is incredible. I think that's crazy that they managed to get everyone back from the movie.
Yeah, especially people like I almost said Chris
Captain
Evans
America
and Brie Larson. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's super awesome. I'm surprised that they were able to do that.
I'm hoping the
really
anime
like the movie.
Yeah, they must have like really looked fondly on that time. And I mean, I really like the movie. And I mean, I'll say this hot take. I think I like the movie more than the comic.
I don't agree.
I'll say that. Mostly because I feel like the comic peaked in volume 4, and then after that it was just kind of like,
oh bro, he's so right though. Oh my god. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with the movie. It's good for what it is, right? You know, like hour and a half, 2 hour long condensing of a 6-volume book, but they cut out so much good stuff. All of book 4 is basically gone, which makes sense.
True.
It's probably the least important, but it's also the best one. So I'm hoping. Here's what I want from this new anime. I assume it will follow the books more than the movie because that just makes sense. I want book 4, and I want Honest Eds. If Honest Eds is not in this anime, I'm gonna be so mad because Honest Eds is so fucking funny. It's like one of my favorite parts of any of the books.
You're talking about
release
the
the
department
Honest
store.
Eds cut.
Yeah. In book 3 when Scott has to one of the times Scott fights Todd, they do it by shopping through what is like basically like it seems like a Costco or something, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be. It's just like a department store.
Yeah, and it's like a Canadian like thing, you know, kind of exclusive.
It just feels like a weird in joke that like you almost kind of understand, but just like the absurdity is really funny to me.
Do we know who's like? Sorry. Do we know who's like in charge of the anime? Is it? I mean, it's not going to be Edgar Wright, is it?
We just I think we only know the studio because it's not Edgar Wright in charge of it. I think he's like executive producer along with Brian Lee O'Malley, but like the studio is Science Saru, which is the studio Masaki Uesa's studio. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be directing it because I think he retired from directing anime after Azukin. But you know, Science Saru does good stuff.
You said his name really funny.
Is that not how you say his name?
I think it's Yuasa.
Oh, is it Yuasa?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's why he retired. I was he got tired of people saying, you asshole.
Clearly.
Ass ahoy.
Well, anyone's familiar with me should come to understand that I constantly mispronounce shit, so.
That's fine. I forgive you.
But yeah, no, I'm just... Wow, we said the same thing. It's like...
well,
it's like we're twinsies.
You go ahead, buddy.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't. One thing I really hope that the anime like keeps is because one of the things that I think makes the Scott Pilgrim movie like so good is just like the directing style and like how, all the fun little comic stuff and like how some of the action like falls in line with like the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the sort of Edgar Wright direction that he does with a lot of his movies. I feel like it's in pretty good hands because Science Saru is pretty creative with their direction a lot of the time.
Oh,
so
wait,
I think that's like in the ethos of the studio.
They did they did one of those Rick and Morty anime shorts, right?
I think they did.
Yeah,
they did Devilman Crybaby too.
Oh,
they're responsible for the Genocider, which is pretty cool looking.
We call him Hitler.
They also did that Tatami Galaxy sequel, which I still haven't watched.
Well, it sounds like it's in good hands, and I think I do agree with Toya that like, I want them to add all the stuff that they didn't include from the book, but also to use like the Edgar Wright movie as like kind of a style template, I remember I was doing like a group reread of like Scott Pilgrim, and I like the Lucas Lee fight more in the movie than in the book, because in the book it was like very like kind of casual. I forgot how casual his encounter with Lucas Lee, and Lucas Lee's not even like mad or angry. He's just like a dude.
It is really because they like fight a couple of times. Like one of the fights is the Honest Ed's thing, and it does feel like a formality almost, which I guess is part of the joke at that point.
The Honest Ed was with Todd, which was after like the Lucas Lee fight.
Oh, sorry, I misheard. I thought you said Todd.
I think once he got to like Todd, the fights kind of became more wackier, and I do think they peaked with when Roxy shows up. There's a lot of stuff in that volume 4 that like I really hope they cover a lot of this in the anime, because a lot of it was cut out in the movie. But I mean we'll see. We'll see. And it's on Netflix. Oh god, I really hate how Netflix just drops everything. Like they don't do the weekly I guess uploads that like make it more exciting to watch, because like now people have things to talk about every week instead of like shooting their whole load, and people are just talking about Stranger Things for like a week. But even till this day I still fucking hear the Kate Bush song on the fucking radio, and I'm very tired. And not of Kate Bush, because she's got some bangers, but they never play the other ones. They only ever play Running Up the Hill, and I'm super upset.
Yeah, what about Cloud Busting?
Yeah, exactly. What about Babushka?
One thing that kind of has me worried about the Netflix kind of format is, I don't know, there was an anime that came out recently called Isekai Oji-san. What? And it's actually a pretty funny anime. It's essentially an anime about like this really fucking like creepy look. He looks like the fucking ugly bastard. Except he's like an uncle, and he gets teleported to another world, and it's about what happens whenever he gets sent back to his world, and like he's just kind of a loser. I heard about this. Yeah, but it was doing like really good, but Netflix, I don't know what happened, but they really fucked up on their schedule, because they're releasing it in, I think it was like 3-episode chunks or something, and like the viewership for this anime just like went down the fucking toilet after like the first couple weeks.
It's the same case for the Stone Ocean anime, because they dropped it in chunks, and like no one really talked about it that much. The Stone Ocean's a JoJo anime, in case
I was watching Stone Ocean with some friends, but after that gap we kind of just like never went back to it.
Yeah.
Damn. This is a shame.
It's because it's kind of hard to remember, right?
Yeah. Well, it just kind of it keeps it out of like the zeitgeist longer than maybe it would be if it was on a weekly format. Cause
I also don't have Netflix personally, so I'm reliant on other people. Like
that's true.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, Julie.
I was just saying, like, I'm more reliant on other people like telling me about like what's new and sexy with Netflix. And so if Netflix is dropping the ball on like keeping their subscribers like aware of what they're doing, then that's even worse because they're not leveraging like the people that are already there. Word of mouth is still applicable in terms of advertising.
I think that you know, a lot of people are pretty apprehensive about this being a Netflix thing, which fair enough. But yeah, because you know, like they cancel animation projects like it's nothing. But I think with a property as like popular as Scott Pilgrim, I feel like they'd have a lot to lose if they did cancel it. So I feel like it'll probably be safe. Whereas if they'll do a weekly thing, I don't know. I think I think it's been proven by now that a streaming service doesn't need to bulk drop all their fucking episodes anymore.
Yeah, true. It's
But who knows?
it doesn't like I don't know what kind of changed like to make people. I mean, I get it's kind of like there's probably a word for this where like things were like run a specific way for the longest, and then like the new shinier thing shows up.
Well,
But
yeah, it was exciting when because when Netflix started with the original programming, it was really exciting to just kind of get all the episodes and just watch them back to back because like you couldn't really do that.
Yeah.
The most you could do is that like, you know, Comcast had like on demand or whatever, or you could like TiVo or just like
true.
DVR like a show or something. But like if you wanted to binge a show, you needed the DVDs.
Was that do you think it was the pandemic that did it in? Because like then people finally sat down and watched everything, and then it's like, okay, now we're out of things to watch.
I think what really killed it was just the idea that like some people are just faster at watching shows than others. Because like I noticed, I observed this when back when I watched Stranger Things. I only watched the first 2 seasons.
Smart man.
When the second season came out, I got like halfway through binge watching it, and then like I kind of didn't want to really watch it anymore because I knew that everyone else had already seen it, and maybe this says more about like us as a people than like the method of the show itself, but just like you know, it's nice to talk about the shows with other people.
Yeah, true.
Where that can't really be facilitated in the same way if they're all dropped at once, and some people watch all the episodes in one day, and some people watch like 2 and then just drop it because no one's talking about the episode they just watched.
It's funny.
I feel that way about video games.
Yeah.
True.
Really?
Yeah, if something is too popular, I know everyone is playing it, they're speeding through it, all the secrets are already found, so sometimes I'm just like not super eager to get into a certain game because I already know I'm going to absorb all of the like surface level elements through osmosis, and if it isn't like advertised as mechanically complex, I don't really want to put my hands on it. Like all the fun's gone.
If I watch someone play a video game, if I was ever like slightly interested in playing it and I watch the person play the game for too long, I just don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, I will explicitly like if like I remember this like years ago. I was watching a review on Final Fantasy 12, and I got like 20 minutes into this hour and a half long review. And at the 20-minute mark, I was like, all right, this game actually sounds really interesting. I'm going to actually play it. So I stopped the review, bought the game, and then finished the review when I beat the game.
Yeah.
And if I finished that review, I probably would not have played that game.
And it's such a good game. Well, Final Fantasy 12, such a good game. God bless.
I do that with like movie reviews. Like if they start talking about this sounds interesting, I'm not going to listen to the rest of the review and then just watch the movie. Or if I see something, I like look up. I don't know if I saw something that came out years ago and I look up, did Red Letter Media talk about this movie? And like Red Letter Media so and so.
I will watch a like a review of a movie that they've done after I've seen it, because it's nice to sort of you feel like you're kind of on the same level of knowledge as the people talking about it.
Yeah, and there's sometimes there's like a really good feeling of like of like if you agree with the people
they like
that
the same
you like,
parts I do.
oh, good, I have the right opinion. They like what I like. Yay.
Yes, that also plays a factor into it.
I love listening to Jay Bauman talk because everything he says I agree with.
He's so right, though.
You know what? Right. I actually have this weird kind of complex, and I think I might have told Tech about it before. But like, and it's kind of insane. If like something is like way too like popular, like I will not be able to like, I can't like partake in that media at least for a while. Like,
interesting.
I
feel that sometimes too. Like,
yeah,
it's just too much.
And it feels like a race, right? It feels like a race because I'm just like, if I see something come out, I know, and like, it's just like, that looks good. That looks really good. I know I only have like, it's a ticking clock for me, right? I need to watch it fast or else I'm just not going to be able to because, you know, I just see so many people talking about it and it gets really annoying to me. And I just don't feel like watching it anymore or, you know, playing it. It actually happened with Azukin. There was so much chatter about it. I was just like, fuck this. I'm annoyed. I don't even want to watch it. And I still haven't watched it yet. I want to now that everybody's shut up about it.
You clench your teeth every time you hear the words easy breezy.
I feel like I have something like that, but kind of in not in the reverse, but like for example, it's kind of like instead of it being popular shows, it's like shows everyone is shitting on.
Oh yeah.
Something I kind of realized is because I used to like when people would shit on a show, I used to like check it out, and just consistently, it's always been like this was whatever. I don't get the hate like campaign this show has, and I kind of
a lot of people just don't watch a lot of stuff.
Well, the thing is
like surface level things just kind of turn them off from it immediately, and then they're looking for stuff to hate about it. I assume you're talking about like Velma.
Yeah, exactly. And I think here's I think what it is that like once people decide to hate something, every little thing it does is like the worst thing ever. Yeah. You know, because I was hearing like people complain about like, oh yeah, the like, and I haven't seen the Velma show, but people were saying like, oh yeah, the Velma character, she's selfish and whatnot, blah, yada yada yada, and only like 1 or 2 episodes has come out. And I thought to myself, okay, I know very simple, like, character arcs. I know very simple, like, story structures. And usually at the start of a story, a character is some sort of asshole or has some sort of character flaw. And then by the end of the story, they get humbled. They learn not to be that. And I did hear from someone say that, yeah, by the end, Velma gets, like, humbled to an extent, you know, and it's like, yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought was gonna happen. And the thing is, yeah.
No, keep going.
And the thing is that, yeah, the thing is like it's like the little like, oh, we haven't gotten to the part where she gets like humbled yet, but everyone is like already like thinking like, oh, the worst character ever, yada yada yada.
Look, real quick, that's just crazy because you're right. That is like almost the exact opposite of like my mindset. I've got like the hater mindset, right? You've got the I don't know. I got what's the opposite of hater? Yeah, the lover.
It's so funny because I was because I'm like a hater about everything else but like awful shows, I guess. Because I guess because the way I see it is that like I get this impression from people that like it's almost a crime that like bad media exists. Or something, or like this is like it's like there's nothing worse than like if media turns out bad, which is very like such like a first world problem, you know, like oh fuck no, the 200th iteration of the Talking Dog show is bad, and it's like the majority of them were like mid anyway, so it's not no hair off my back. Really.
I think that might be like a relic of or a holdover of the old way that media used to work, because the stakes did feel higher when you had a show premiere and it only stood a chance of like existing if one of like the big 3 gave a shit about it. And so when shitty shows exist, but your cool thing gets canceled, it's like, well, what the fuck? Why are we 17 seasons deep into Family Guy, but I can't get another season of The Riches? Fuck you.
Yeah, it'd be like that. It very much be like that. And I'm probably
knowing
never
people who like Family Guy, I apologize for that. That was just the only thing I could think of.
Family Guy fans have it too good. They need to be taken down a peg.
They're swimming. It's really fucked up because whenever I get like super like drunk with like friends or something, like I will just like put on Family Guy, like funny moments.
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is what we're watching. Sorry, guys.
I won't lie. Sometimes those moments are pretty funny.
They weren't lying. That compilation was pretty funny. Pretty funny compilation. You know, it's last time I did something like that was I was getting high with my partner and they suggested, look up because on the recommended was like funniest reactions on Family Feud from like Steve Harvey, like 20-minute compilation. And my partner's like, click that. And we were like high as fuck watching like Steve Harvey receive like psychic damage from hearing like the dumbest answers.
I love that psychic damage because that is kind of what it looks like. It looks like his brain's just been attacked. He's like, oh
yeah.
There was one that was kind of like brutal, and it almost felt like it kind of bordered on like bullying. And I swear, the person who answers this question, it looked like they were kind of crying or something. But it was basically like, what's another name you could call your mother, right? And someone said like, oh, mommy, and then someone else said mama, right? And then he goes up to the family with the most points, and he's all like, okay, what's another name you could call your mother? And one of them says Nana, and it's like, that's wrong because Nana is like more like a
grandma.
Yeah, it's grandma, or like, yeah, exactly, it's like grandma, right? And then he goes up to another one of the same family, goes up to another one of the members, says like, what's another name for mother? And she also says Nana. And it's like what did you were you? And what's so funny is like, I think the greatest bit, and it feels very human. It feels very much like this is like human core. Is that when, even though like they say the dumbest answer, people still clap. Like they just said like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the answer. And I'm thinking like, how many people in the audience are like clapping, like not because they're being nice, but because they think that would be a good answer, you know?
Well, they're probably doing it because they're told to.
Yeah, true. But and that being said, then he goes to a third member of this family and asks her, and she also says Nana. And he's like stumbling. He's like woozy. He's like about to faint because all this like
he's taking mortal damage.
Yeah, exactly. And because he got it 3 times in a row. And then he does this bit where he lets this same woman like answer 5 times, and she like says Nana, but she tries to give it an accent. And then Steve Harvey does like a whole bit with that. And I think, and if you sometimes it looked like she kind of like her eyes looked a little, I don't know, maybe because I was high, her eyes looked kind of watery.
It's like she was about to cry.
Yeah, because Steve Harvey, because everyone was kind of laughing, and Steve Harvey wasn't like, I think what Steve Harvey was doing this kind of like nice thing where like if an audience member is saying like the stupid questions, he doesn't try to make the audience laugh at the contestant. What he does is that he tries to do a bit where people laugh at him instead, right? So they're not laughing at the contestant, which is kind of smart because I could easily see a contestant off of them. Yeah, exactly. Like a contestant could get overwhelmed and might have like some sort of emotional reaction, right? So Steve, like when she's wrong, Steve will like start like kind of dancing or something. He starts doing like a little jig or something to throw it off. And gives this woman so many chances, and it's so crazy. And I felt like I learned a lot about kind of like the human condition watching like Family Feud.
Imagine if Steve Harvey just decided to use his powers for evil.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, you fucking moron, you idiot.
Yeah. That'd be such a...
Arguably, like I feel like he does. I can't explain it without sounding insane, but believe me, Steve Harvey does use his powers for evil.
Steve Harvey has some bodies hidden, for sure.
I think Steve Harvey is like he's like anti-gay or something, right? He's like anti-gay marriage, like he made that publicly.
I remember hearing something like kind of weird about him. I don't remember what though.
He's been like divorced like 10 times or something.
No, who hasn't?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
That's
I do like that skit idea of because I had a similar idea too, Toya, where it's like the Steve Harvey character and they get it wrong, and then like he like gets super mad that he gets it wrong, and he starts like yelling at them, kind of like Whiplash style, and like tells them to look at the board and to stop being a fucking idiot, and like really making them cry. That
would be awesome. I would watch that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna steal that. Well, I came up with it in my head. I convinced myself of that. Oh man, what was I gonna say? I was thinking I had another Steve Harvey point, but Julian, you got a topic or something?
Presently, no, not really. I'm just here for the atmosphere.
For the atmosphere. If someone's got a topic, I just need 2 minutes while someone talks about something. I need to do something real quick right now.
I've got something that kind of calls back to a previous topic. Because I was thinking about it and I haven't been able to get it off my mind. Back when like Netflix was like first coming out, do you guys remember? Like Netflix had this thing. Hold on, I actually need to burp real quick. Whew. All right, so Netflix had this thing where you could buy like a Netflix disc for your Wii.
Yes, I know.
And you would just have Netflix for free after that.
Well, it wasn't free, was it?
It was free.
You just needed the disc to like have before they had like the app on the Wii store.
Well, you bought the disc, and for like a certain amount of time, like Netflix on the Wii was just free. Which is like crazy.
I think my family got into it after they took away the free option.
Same. By the time we got Netflix on our Nintendo Wii, it was you could just download it off of the shop channel.
We got into the movie streaming super late. We were still like borrowing discs even after like the returns started diminishing on that front.
We got in around like I think 2010, 2011, which really feels like a golden age almost, just because of how much like stuff was on Netflix that you could just watch. But like, what the hell was I gonna say? There was. I've completely lost what the fuck I was talking about.
I gotcha.
It's COVID brain fog, my friend.
Oh, it's the COVID brain fog.
Yeah. I remember watching a YouTube video that talked all about that Netflix disc that you put into your Wii, and it was like apparently it was like a way to sort of weasel around some sort of a like agreement that Microsoft made with Netflix, where like I think back in like 2008 they made it so like they signed a deal with Microsoft saying that they would be the exclusive place to have like the Netflix app on like game consoles at the time. So they like got around it by making Netflix a disc that you could just launch on your Wii. Is that why
you wouldn't have charged for it after you give the customer the disc?
That might have been it.
Maybe. I don't know about the not charging thing. That just sounds really crazy to me. But maybe it's true.
I think it was a thing. I mean, granted, this is like way back when. This was like when I was in like middle school.
Sure,
so,
your
like,
parents just didn't pay for it and didn't tell you.
Yeah, that might have been the case.
Where do we get Netflix from? Santa Claus brings it to us, honey.
Oh, from God. You gotta pray to him every night.
I just remember having the Netflix disc, and then I watched like a bunch of like anime, and I remember being really embarrassed because we all shared the account, and I didn't realize they could see like the history, and it's just like all weeb shit, and it was just like this is like before my parents knew, right, that I was like deficient mentally.
Toya, what is this Girls Bravo show? What's this about?
I kept up the Masquerade pretty well. The first few years of my Netflix watching were just House of Cards and Supernatural.
Oh yeah, I think Stranger Things was like the thing that made me really get into Netflix at first, because I would just watch it kind of casually, and I never had it until then, I think.
When Netflix got season 4 of Arrested Development, that's when it started to feel like a paradigm shift to me, because I really liked Arrested Development, and like the fact, just the idea that, and I think Futurama also got revived around the same time. It sort of felt like the beginning of this sort of era where like shows could just come back. And I know like Family Guy, it happened for Family Guy, but that was way there was like way less of a time gap with that, and
it wasn't when it happened to Family Guy. It wasn't like a trend, you know.
Yeah,
it was just like luck.
Truly unheard of back in the day that like you could just get another season of a TV show. Whereas nowadays people kind of groan and roll their eyes when like Buffy the Vampire Slayer comes back or something. When I feel like back in 2010 people would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it. Firefly season 2." Of course, I just picked 2 Joss Whedon shows.
Right.
To quote unquote bring back, which people would not be as happy about today for other reasons.
You got to bring back the quality ones.
Yeah.
Oh man. Boy. I got really into, like, a couple years ago, I got really into Trailer Park Boys, and I watched like the whole thing on Netflix. That was
a big Netflix show for a while.
Yeah, because that was the that one got revived on Netflix, just like Arrested Development.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, because it had like a TV finale, and you could kind of tell which season it was because the cameras weren't digital, and also it ended with kind of like an epilogue for every character, like where they were at, and then the next season the cameras are suddenly digital, right? And it's like, but the quality never changed. For the show, and I think that's like the one thing I like about Trailer Park Boys. It's been pretty consistent since like season 1 even, and because those actors who the titular actors for Trailer Park Boys are nothing else but Trailer Park Boys, right? Like they have not appeared in any other show or movie or whatnot, only like Trailer Park Boys related stuff, and it's funny because that's kind of like the reason why they got on Netflix was because when the last season happened, the creator was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just end Trailer Park Boys," and then the 3 main actors were kind of like, "Well, we're not gonna let that fucking happen." So they bought the rights. They bought the rights to the show, and then they went to Netflix, and that's how that next season happened. Which is
that's a very interesting situation.
It's also very in character for those, like, if anyone's seen Trailer Park Boys, the 3 main leads. Episodes. Yeah, like that is a very like them move to do, like, in shows, to they themselves just buy the rights to their own show, and they just go to Netflix, and they probably would have still been making the show till like today, but I think they're all like super fucking old now. They're like older ass fucking men now. You watch those early seasons, they look so fucking young, but like now they're like much older. One of the main actors Cheesy? For the show, yeah, one of the characters in this clip right here, Jim Leahy, the actor for that character, he like died, and they started getting old. So what they did was that they do like animated seasons now, which are canon with the canon with the live action ones. Yeah.
I feel. Listen,
I don't remember.
I've seen Slip and Jimmy. I got bad vibes about this. Is it bad?
Well, it's I haven't seen too many. I saw 1 episode and I thought this is okay, but I'm just not interested. And I've heard rumors that they're thinking about going back for another live action season, which I'd be totally down for, but I don't know. And and what's funny is that how it's canon is that the previous live action season, it ends with them all taking mushrooms and they all start tripping, and then everything becomes like animated, and then the next season starts where it's
that's
right.
Clever.
Yeah, so it's all like still kind of canon, and then the animation version they break the fourth wall a lot, not because they're trying to be clever, but because they were aware that they were like live action at one point, and they're kind of like, damn, when is this hallucination gonna end?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Other than that, though, it's a good ass show. Recommend it.
Kind of off topic, but that reminds me of those what are they called? Kind of Funny Games YouTube channel. They have an animated series, and I always thought, like, these animated shorts don't really mesh with the rest of the content. I don't really like it. It should be better incorporated into like general video game commentary boys stuff.
But it should look like Code Monkeys. Yes, I agree.
They should bring back Code Monkeys.
Why? The way the show is
That's
written,
why G4 failed.
Like they're making a high school slice of life, but all of the Kind of Funny guys in those Kind of Funny Games videos, they're like 40. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, these are not high school kids. This show sucks.
I have not seen like any of these like animated clips, but like I hear Kind of Funny Games animated, and my head just pictures like Big Mouth. It just looks like Big Mouth to me. So I'm gonna see if that's true.
I wish it looked like Big Mouth. It would be mildly more interesting if it did.
Oh God.
Oh no. This does not look like Big Mouth.
I speaking of funny shows, I've been thinking about. Oh my God, what is that?
Oh my fucking God.
Oh,
this is horrifying.
I don't like that. I don't like that guy. What? He's like what? He's Beast. He looks like a snake from this thumbnail.
That is Beast. That is the Beast.
He kind of looks like Beast. He kind of looks like the Animan people. You know the
I know about Animan. I'm aware. I'm on TikTok with all.
You're an Animan stan.
I am aware of anime. I'll tell you that much.
I'm not on TikTok, so you're gonna have to explain this to me.
You know. Okay, here's the thing. I think a lot of like people of our generation have trouble with TikTok, but I think the easiest way to explain it, and
I don't think I understand it. I just choose not to engage.
I've used Vine, and that was enough for me. The moment has passed.
TikTok is basically early YouTube, because you could like reply to any video, and because it's so short, you have to get to the point, so you can't just like waste time. And also, people are uploading like complete movies and series in parts on TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. And They got all that integrated streaming stuff. I mentioned this before last time Toya was on. Sometimes, depending on what the algorithm recommends, sometimes I get like live stream of like Mexican ghost hunters.
Oh yeah, the duendes.
The duendes. They're like battling like I've been getting like less fucking duendes and like little freaks running around, and I wish it recommend more of that stuff to me.
It's so fun. I love those videos so much.
Don't look up Animan Studio on Twitter. Well, now I have to do that.
Yeah, they're...
So it's like this guy with like this very handsome man with a very nice ass.
He's on the Jeep. Yeah, he's got a huge ass, and it attracts other men who are noticing his huge ass. And I love the scene where they're walking and they're bobbing their heads to the ass.
No, they're like, yeah.
Like, yeah, and then the pose at the elevator is so perfect.
Is there a part 2 to this where they have sex?
Yeah. This is just like the intro.
Yep, just saw it.
Yeah, this is porn. This is just the intro to it.
Yeah, so it is just porn, and like for some reason, it's just like in this like goofy cartoon style. And there's also another one with a cowboy. There's also another one with like street ball. Animan is a hood classic.
It's like a South American company that makes these, and they do like, for some reason they really like historical events, but like make them gay. And I mean, a lot of historical events were gay.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
But, yeah, but the angle and they kind of have this like old school kind of like Yupa style. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that company.
Gundam
UPA
style, I believe.
Yeah, Oppa Gundam. No, the company was UPA. They did cartoons like Gerald McBoing.
Okay.
Yeah. They would do stuff like that, and this like company's trying to imitate that because I guess that's hot to like gay guys. I mean, like I guess I kind of get it because I'm bi, but it's funny, you know. I find it a lot more funnier than when the Anka meme was like trending, you know. There wasn't really much of a joke with the Anka one. It was just like, oh guys, this is actually porn.
Yeah, that was never funny.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't funny. It was something else.
Yeah, but this anime one is like unironically funny to me because it's just like weird. It's just funny how they get hypnotized by a huge ass, by a man who's just walking with a huge ass, and they're just like they're following it like they're fucking. Just like
you pointed out that part where he's like posing in the elevator and they're all behind him. That's pretty funny. That probably is not intended to be as funny as it is, but it's funny.
Even up until the point where they actually start having the gay sex, it's still funny because once they get out on the elevator to the floor with the other men, he does this thing. He does kind of like a cartoon, like spins around. And he's taking off all his clothes, and then he's like walking like nakedly through the room, but he's still kind of like dancing and like bobbing his arms to like the beat. Yeah. Right? And there's like two of them, and
Oh man. Actually, hold on. I was just about to say something that had no relation. I was enjoying what you were saying, but I don't know why my mouth was about to say these words. I'm sorry, I'm so fucked up in the head.
Was it a slur?
I'm so crazy.
Was it?
No.
What?
I was just about to ask you guys, do you guys have any like horrible childhood memories?
Oh man, so many
like
horrible
that like
memories
you are
so fucked up.
Specifically like ashamed of.
Well, there was this one time that I was walking down the street with my when I was 18, of course, when my juicy glorious ass was attracting everyone on the sidewalk. They followed me to my apartment, and one thing led to another.
I'm trying to think.
I feel really bad because I just like completely like derailed the conversation. I don't know why I said that.
No, it's fine. This is perfect. I remember when I was a kid. Well, I don't remember this because my mom told me this happened to me. I have no real memory of it, which is probably a good thing. It's probably where my fear of heights comes from now that I think about it. But like, I fell off of like a 2-story building and landed on my head.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then I like woke up in the hospital, and we were supposed to go to Chuck E. Cheese that day, right? And
yeah.
Fuck.
So when I woke up, I was like, "Are we still going to Chuck E. Cheese?"
Hey.
Right. So and
that
was pretty bad. That was pretty bad.
Chuck E. Cheese?
I guess we went to Chuck E. Cheese eventually. I had a concussion maybe or something. But yeah, that was. I don't know. I never had like a traumatic childhood, which is funny because I feel like I'm a magnet for people who have traumatic childhoods. It comes with being in an artist community all the time.
I feel like I had a traumatic childhood, but I was the trauma.
You were the bully.
No, I wasn't a bully, but I was the trauma for sure. Because I have this distinct memory of back whenever I was a kid. I think it was like late elementary school. I had this childhood friend, and like we were hanging out on like on the second floor of a house, right? And I remember I convinced her to jump off the balcony, and she broke both of her legs.
Oh my god! You were that kid. You were that kid who would tell other kids to do fuck shit.
Yeah, well, like, listen, it wasn't like intentional, right? Like, I thought she could make the jump.
Oh, yeah, I believed in her. She didn't make it. That was her fault.
Yeah, that was her fault, really. And like, whenever I've told people this before, and they look at me like I'm a fucking monster. It's just like, okay, well, obviously, I didn't know she was gonna break both of her legs.
You were like 8 or something. How old were you?
My first thought is that joke
young.
from the Killing Joke.
Oh, the ending one where like the two patients in the mental asylum are escaping, and they're like at the roof of the asylum, and they see freedom. And they see like a building right next to theirs, and the first one jumps on that building, and he's like, "Go ahead, like jump across, it's easy." And the second one's like no way, that's too far away. And then the first one's like, "I got a flashlight, I'll like light a beam to where you're standing, and you just walk on the light beam." And then the second guy's like, "Are you fucking crazy? You're just gonna turn it off when I get in the middle of it."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then Batman and Joker both start laughing. And then Batman fucking murders the Joker.
Oh, wait, no, he doesn't murder the Joker, does he?
That's no, it's one of the it's a theory that like Grant Morrison came up with for the ending, because if you look at the panel, they both suddenly stop laughing like in the last 2 panels of that comic, and their shadows kind of like merge, almost like if Batman were to extend his hands out to where Joker is, it would have created a shadow connecting them both. And it could be a subtle implication that he strangled him because he realized that, like, I can't save the Joker.
What if Batman and the Joker are, like, the same, though?
Whoa.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Whoa.
What if the Batman laughed?
That was I think
that's crazy. They'd never do that.
That's a verse from Captain Murphy, I think. We find out that I'm the Joker too. You guys excited for Joker 2? You guys think this is gonna top the first one?
The first one.
You didn't watch the first one?
A friend of mine really likes it.
Damn.
I'm not too much of a Lady Gaga fan, so I am tenuously not concerned one way or the other.
I think it being a musical with Lady Gaga means it's going to be really interesting when it comes out at the very least.
I think it's a very good idea. It's a very 10 out of 10 idea. I like Joker, but it was very much like a watered down version of like other better movies.
Well, yeah, it's Taxi Driver basically, isn't it?
Taxi Driver. It's the King of Comedy, which I recommend everyone watch the King of Comedy, because they do like a 10 times better job of like portraying an insane person than like the Joker. Because I think like with the Joker movie, they want you like to sympathize with him, but in King of Comedy, like you have so much anxiety because the main character is like insane, and he just will never realize how insane he is and how he's like destroying like people's lives around him due to his insanity, and he's never gonna like figure it out, and that's what makes it so like it's freaky. It's kind of like Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
I still haven't seen that movie. I want to. It looks really good.
That one's pretty good. It's on my list of white boys go crazy cinema.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you said that, because I don't normally watch a lot of movies, but I did recently watch a classic in the white boy goes crazy genre. Have any of you seen Lawrence of Arabia?
No. Does he go crazy? I know it's a classic, but I've never gotten the chance to see it. Does he go crazy in Arabia?
Oh, he goes crazy.
Oh, wow.
Wild.
He goes hard. That's all. I think, hot take, Lawrence of Arabia is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
It's a good movie. It's also really, really long and slow. So get your Subway Surfer clips ready. In case you get bored or whatever. But
speaking of long, dry experiences,
really
somewhat in relation to what Toya had posed with his question about like traumatic childhood experiences. There's a video game called Suikoden.
Oh, shit.
I used to own Suikoden 4. It was like one of the few games that we had on PlayStation 2 after we moved, and we had to like leave behind all of our old PlayStation 2 games. And for some reason, our copy of Suikoden 4 was cursed. Anytime someone wanted to play Suikoden 4, bad things would happen.
What does that mean?
And for the longest time, we would just not play it. Like, we collectively agreed, do not play this game because something bad will happen. But I kept breaking that promise. I would play, like, at night when people are sleeping or when other people were just not at home and it was just me at home by myself. And I remember one day I was playing the game. It's, like, really late into the game where, like, you encounter your former rival / childhood friend, and you're given the opportunity to like spare him or like game end him for the rest of the game forever. But like if you keep sparing him, you get him on your side eventually. But during my playthrough at that time, I decided third time is not the charm, kill him. And while that scene was happening, there was a woman outside of my parents' house screaming like bloody murder. I don't know if she was being murdered or if she was murdering, but I always thought like, whatever was happening out there probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't play that game.
Damn.
Your traumatic childhood memory is like literally a creepypasta. Holy shit. That's crazy.
Every time
I can never play Suikoden 4 ever again because I keep thinking about that. It's not like actual trauma, like the kind of stuff you should go to a therapist for, but I thought it would be like the most appropriate thing to share with other people.
The game is forever associated with whatever that noise was.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's so insane.
Yeah,
maybe it was a mountain lion, because those sound like blood-curdling screams from a woman, right?
Was there do you live in a mountain lion infest area, Julian? Are
there mountain lions in Escondido?
I don't know what that is, so yeah.
There could be. It's out. I think it's mountainy. It's mountainy. It's a little liony. There might be out there.
There is like a mountain, but I don't know if there would be mountain lions there.
Speaking of mountain lions, my fucking cat is on my anime figures. Get down from there, you motherfucker. Oh, get down. Get down. All right, there he goes. didn't want him to knock over my Cooler figure. He couldn't knock it over. It's too small.
Cooler's so awesome.
Cooler's so cool. That's why he's called Cooler. He's cooler than Frieza.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is really cool.
He's pretty cool. Oh man, what was he talking about? Cursed video games. Do you guys have any like memories associated with certain video games? I think you guys obviously do, but I remember the same night that I watched the movie Cronenberg The Fly. When I watched that movie for the first time was the same night that I beat Kung Fu Panda the video game on GameCube, and I played it all the way through in just one sitting, and I beat it.
Oh,
yeah. So I associate
like an action-packed day.
Oh yeah, definitely. I watched Cronenberg, and I'm like, whoa, that was crazy. That was awesome. The practical effects, it was so insane. And then, my brother was kind of like, "Can you beat Kung Fu Panda on the GameCube for me?" Because he was having trouble. Actually, I think it was Kung Fu Panda for PS3. Never mind.
That makes more sense.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask how in the world GameCube got a Kung Fu fucking Panda game.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You're right. I think the last 3D animated game on GameCube was probably Cars, I think. But yeah, I beat Kung Fu Panda 1 on PS3 in one sitting. It could be a record. It could be a speedrun record, maybe. And I just unknowingly like started it or something.
Did the GameCube have memory cards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I had to keep replaying the intro of Paper Mario, because I had no memory card.
Damn.
Oh man, I
Imagine
used to do
trying
that with
to do that all in one setting.
I used to do that with Sonic Heroes. I remember I got like one time I got like to like the very end, and then I forgot what happened. But like it just turned off, and I got so upset.
At the end, they truly become Sonic Heroes.
They do. I think they actually say we're Sonic Heroes. I don't.
They say that at the beginning.
I think that's an actual line. Oh yeah, they say that at the beginning.
There's a funny clip at the beginning of the game where like they get a letter from Eggman, and it's it's addressed like, "Dear Sonic Heroes, greetings Sonic Heroes. I've come to test you," or something like that. It's the fact that he calls them Sonic Heroes twice in a row, as if like that's like a thing that they've always said, is really funny to me.
I love that beginning because it shows like Sonic like running through like a desert wasteland, and like there's something like really satisfying about like watching the 3D Sonic model, like run really fast.
Yeah, because you ain't seeing that in the game.
That's pretty good.
I always liked the Team Dark intro to that game.
Oh, it was sick.
It seems like it belonged in a better game.
I was obsessed with the Sonic lore as a kid, so I always wanted to know why Shadow was still alive in Sonic Heroes after what happened to him in Adventure 2, but I was never good enough at the game to actually get the answer, and then it turned out that the answer wasn't even in that game, so...
I thought it was that he was a robot or something. Or he thought he was a robot.
No, okay.
That's in Shadow the Hedgehog. That's one of the endings. Is that he thinks that he's an android made by Eggman. But I think the answer is literally just that, like, he lived. Don't think about it. Eggman like saved him or something. Don't think about it.
I can't. I never got the true ending of that game, but I do remember playing Shadow the Hedgehog a lot.
Well,
I did not get very far.
The ending is that Metal Sonic does a thing and becomes Metal Overlord.
Yeah.
Metal Ogre Lord. And
is it Overlord or Overload?
I don't know.
It's Overlord. It's Overlord.
Is it Overlord or Overload? I think it'd be funny if it was Overload.
it would have been like way more like appropriate if it was Overload, but like despite how much I love Sonic Team, I don't think they're capable of that.
Yeah.
Okay, it is Overlord. Sorry to let everyone down.
I thought it was. I'm just gonna pretend that my answer was right. I'm just gonna live on living life like that. So he they become Super Sonic Heroes. But Knuckles and Tails don't get a super form. They just get kind of like a barrier, which is like
they're just within Sonic's aura.
Yeah,
that's a weird Sega mandate for some reason. Like I forget who it is at Sega, but like someone there just does not like Sonic or anyone besides Sonic and Shadow having super forms. You can see it like it goes as far back as Sonic 3 because like what the hell's his name?
Knuckles.
Because you get super. You get like a super and hyper form for Knuckles, but it doesn't look any different. And like Tails only gets super Tails if you get like the super emeralds. Excuse me. And again, he doesn't look any different.
Yeah. Sonic is like one of those franchises that I think a lot of people can't agree was carried by a lot of like fan content, because so many people could easily look at Sonic and be like, more cooler things should be going on with him, and especially with like all the other characters and how easy the Sonic character template is to like imitate, you know.
Very easily, actually, because in that era, if you couldn't get your mascot game on like a Nintendo or a Genesis, you could just publish it on PC. And I can't name any, but there are like dozens of like platformer mascot guys that are mostly just as good as Sonic. Like, you've all probably played Jazz Jackrabbit.
Dog, you are not about to say Jazz Jackrabbit
Jazz Jackrabbit?
I've never heard
it's as good as Sonic 2.
Never heard of Jazz Jackrabbit.
That is so insane that you would say that. What do you mean? Hold on. First of all, what do you mean? Like, I'm sure you guys have played it. I don't know anyone who's played that game besides you.
Really?
What, Jazz Jackrabbit?
He's like,
developed by Epic Mega Games.
Wait,
you don't know about Jazz Jackrabbit?
He looks kind of like, isn't there? He's like a green rabbit. Isn't there another green rabbit character? I swear, like that can't be. He's not the only green rabbit. There's like another one, right?
I'm drawing a blank.
Fuck. I'm not sure. I'm trying to look it up. But
you are right that there were a dime a dozen mascot characters, but most of the reason Sonic was popular is because he was better than like 95% of them.
Yeah, true.
Well, what about the guy with the barrels? Not Donkey Kong. I'm still talking about like PC centric characters, but there was a guy with like Donkey Kong barrels. That was good too.
There was I had an idea for a comic where it's like it's Gex the Gecko and he's like in court. And the judge is like, Gex, for your crimes against comedy, I sentence you to death, right? And in the third panel, he says something, and I'm debating if he should say this because it might be too soon, but he says like, "Oh, this is worse than being on set with Alec Baldwin."
Oh, hey, you could also pivot to like a Gwyneth Paltrow thing because she's on trial too right now.
True. Wait, I was also thinking about like
well, there was some sort of skiing accident involving her.
Yeah, she like hit a skier or something, and he was in the way. I mean, he lost because I think he made up a lot of the fucking details or something.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you never like true, and he was like broke as fuck. So I mean, he probably saw like a payday. He saw like, ooh, here I come. But he ultimately lost. Yeah, true.
Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow the Goop lady?
Yeah,
she's Pepper Potts from the Iron Man movies.
She's also insane.
That reminds me, I was watching when Spider-Man No Way Home came out. I didn't watch it. Instead, I decided to watch Spider-Man Homecoming for the first time. I'd never seen it before. It's okay. It's an okay movie.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the movie, there's like they do this thing where like the way they're shooting it and like the way, just like the vibe of the scene is that like this is supposed to be a big deal, but since like I don't really care much about Marvel movies these days, it didn't really affect me that much. But like at the end of the movie, Gwyneth Paltrow shows up and like is talking to Tony Stark or something, and I think it was supposed to be like her grand return to the MCU, because I know there was like some sort of like disputes between them behind the scenes, which is why she wasn't in. She was in Iron Man 3, right?
She was in Iron Man 3, but that was, I think, her last appearance until Spider-Man Homecoming.
But she wasn't in Avengers 2, because I actually also saw that when it came out, and like they also made a big deal about her being not there. Like I was supposed to understand what was happening.
Why would she be in Age of Ultraman? Or am I only thinking that because
Age of Ultraman? Age of Ultraman.
That's crazy.
Well, she'd be in it because she's kind of linked. She's linked pretty heavily to Tony
Which she's
Stark.
she's like Tony Stark's assistant / turned into his wife.
Yeah,
I never got that vibe from the movie Pepper. I thought she was just like some lady that Tony really liked.
The Iron Man movie is always like, I mean, not just the Iron Man movie, but the MCU's like their fucking just romantic plots are like the worst thing ever.
Oh my god.
I really don't like the ones in like the Doctor Strange movie. Like they're really trying to make a thing with like his former coworker, and it's like,
yeah,
dog, I don't care.
Wait,
where's the madness? Where's the multiverse of madness?
Hold on, wait, did they do that in the latest Doctor Strange movie?
Yeah, they did. Well, his
I didn't
like
watch it. But...
his former it starts with like his former like coworker. He's at her wedding, and he's all like, "Damn, if I wasn't like dead for 5 years, I could have been the one married her. I guess
I could have been in there.
I could have been in there.
If I wasn't too busy being the coolest guy ever, maybe we could have banged."
Right, exactly.
Damn.
And then like little monsters start popping up, and he's like, "Better Doctor Strange it up." And he's like,
"Things
"Oh no,
are about to get strange."
Right, he says his iconic phrase, and
I'm stranging right now.
I'm stranging.
It's really unnecessary, and the way that they frame it, it kind of looms over the rest of the movie. At least when I was watching it,
it fucking does. Yeah. Because it turns out that like he also had his alternate reality version, which died. Also had a thing for that coworker in that version, and then they find another like evil Doctor Strange who's kind of like, "I'll let you escape the evil dimension if you give me your girlfriend from the other dimension." And Doctor Strange is all like,
"Wow, what a cool guy!
I loved her.
and then our Doctor Strange is kind of like, honey," and then he fucking uses magic. He uses music magic because there's a piano nearby, and that's one of Doctor Strange's powers, I guess. And he kills him. He throws him off of the Strange mansion, and he falls on a fence, and he's like, fuck, he gets stabbed right through. And then Doctor Strange...
He could have just been honest with his evil version and said, "She isn't mine either, dude. Like, just get over it."
Whoa, buddy. She's not an object for me to give, okay, man? She's got rights. She's got a personality. She's fucking beautiful. She's fucking funny. You can't be talking about her like this,
Hey, man, that's not cool.
Yeah. And then the evil Doctor Strange is like, "Sorry, I made a deal with the dark dimension, and now I'm a misogynist." That's
in the dark dimension. Second wave feminism never happens.
Right, exactly. Dormammu ate all the feminists as a joke.
He thought it'd be really funny.
And it was super funny, and I'm not gonna pretend that it wasn't.
I just think about how when that movie came out, me and my roommate were like really close to like on a whim deciding to watch it, and then we looked up how long it was, and we're like, never mind.
Yeah,
if it was like a half hour shorter, we probably would have seen it.
Fuck yeah! These movies don't have to be this fucking long. All these like bloated ass cameos and shit, and like there was no madness. I hate that these movies have titles like Quantumania and Multiverse of Madness, and they're really like tame ass movies. There's no madness. There's no mania. There's nothing. There's nothing here.
This isn't really crazy.
Not much of a multiverse either. Like, he crosses several universes, but he only really like does anything in 3 of them.
Right, exactly.
All I'll say is that watching this live would have been really awesome.
What the fuck?
Wait
a second. Wait, hold up.
Hold on. Excuse me?
Wait, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Have you seen the edit where like, because I haven't seen this movie, but I've definitely seen edits of it. There's like one edit where Dr. Xavier comes out and his like little thing, and he
does wheelies.
He does like wheelies, and he
I
like
think
fucking
it's
like rail grinds across like the fucking room.
It's like, you're in my universe. I'm the 5-time X Games champion.
I fucking hate
Poor
that.
Wheeling out fucking Patrick Stewart. It's like, you're 90 years old. Can you please play Professor Xavier again?
I hate that scene in the actual movie because it's like they do the thing where like they're introducing all the characters in the fucking Illuminati, and then Doctor Strange has like don't worry guys, he's got a funny joke for each one of them.
Oh my god,
he's got the quip gun
nice
ready.
Quips.
Got to get that quips, and some of them are not even that fucking clever. Like when they're like, Black Dagar bolts again, and then Doctor Strange is like, who'd again? What again? And then looks at the camera and smiles. And
what? Why is this comic character from the 1950s have a stupid name?
He's got a dumb name, guys. Guys, it's fine. I know this is
Dr. Octopus.
I fucking hate that scene.
I'd give anything for him to just fucking snap and just be like, can you shut the fuck up?
God,
like, Doctor Strange, please stop.
I mentioned this in the last episode, but I just love like watching Shin Ultraman, which also has a bunch of silly stuff, but they take it super serious, which I really like, because they'll just say casual shit about like, yeah, this kaiju has the same body as the last kaiju but with a different head, and then they just keep on talking like what they just said.
Okay.
Which is like, oh, okay. And then and there's like this,
oh, well, that's convenient.
There's like this move that like Ultraman does that was so like funny and silly, but the movie takes it as like this was a serious offensive move that Ultraman does, and I'm like, yeah, yes, give me more of that. Take it all, make it look as silly as possible, but take it like super serious. I miss that. I want
that move when he like spins like a pinwheel.
Yeah, when he does the fucking spin move is fucking great.
I like that one clip from the old Ultraman cartoon where he flings his fist forward and shoots like a blade beam that literally like vivisects a guy.
Oh yeah.
So it's like surprisingly brutal for what I assumed was a show for kids.
Yeah, it's
but I guess it's a giant monster, so it's okay.
It'd be like that.
Can I give out a quick recommendation?
Yeah.
If you like want to like, if you are interested in like, you know, tokusatsu shit at all, like I don't know, like Ultraman, Kamen Rider.
That's me. I'm that guy.
And like you want something a little bit more adult too, just like literally watch what was it called, Kamen Rider Amazons.
Oh, the mini series that was on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did that.
It's so fucking crazy. And what's crazy is the main villain.
How are they gonna call it Amazons? What the fuck?
What's crazy is that they basically do have like Jeff Bezos in there in the show. And
wow.
like he is just like, we will reach the next stage of human evolution, and like he has no morals. It's crazy.
That's pretty good. Shin Kamen Rider is gonna come out soon. It's gonna premiere. Like, actually, it already premiered in Japan, and I'm seeing all sorts of spoilers. But luckily, I don't speak Japanese, so I have no idea what's really going on. And
my brother's a huge Kamen Rider fan.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And I think did you ever ask him what he thought of Kamen Rider the first?
If I did, I don't remember what he said.
Damn. We're probably gonna talk about that one on Unofficial TokuCast eventually. Oh, and I just found it back when you were talking about Julian. You were talking about like what, Jazz Jackrabbit.
Yeah, is this not Jazz Jackrabbit?
No, that's Bucky O'Hare.
Oh Bucky O'Hare.
God. Wait, where's Becco? I've heard that name before, but I don't think I've ever seen this man before.
It's an NES game. It's made by Konami.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
That's Bucky O'Hare, and there's a third Green Rabbit. I just found that out. There's one that shows up in Star Wars called Jackson.
Is my boy Cliffy B a hack fraud? Exposed?
Yeah.
This was the final straw.
Why? Yeah. What is this? Is this like? Are they all referencing the same thing? Is there like a story about a green rabbit or something that I'm not aware of?
There was something in the water at the time that
oh my god.
Yeah.
That all these characters got made.
Yeah, this is.
There is
so
that
weird.
one Bugs Bunny cartoon where like all of the cartoon characters get replaced with like zombie versions of themselves. I think the Bugs clone in that is green.
Well, yeah,
Could
green for zombie. That makes sense.
That's just so.
There's he's not green, but there's also Usagi Yojimbo. He's a rabbit.
But he's not green, and he's not in green. Space. He's in medieval Japan. But yeah, this is the fucking. Why is this a thing? What is this? What's going on?
Don't let him near your kids.
He's just vibing.
I think it just was that like, there's only so many animals you can pick from that are just like appealing. Everyone likes rabbits, right? Sure. And then also, green, I feel you could probably do like a whole like thesis around this, but this is something I just came up with. So like green is kind of like the color of the 90s if you think about it, because back then everyone loved like oozes and like radioactive toxic waste and all that shit, like Ecto Cooler. That's all 90s stuff.
That's not me. I hate green. I hate green with a passion.
Green's my favorite color.
Green used to be my favorite color, but
looks
it's
like
also
I have to
the
kill you
color
now.
of money, aka
That's right.
the color of corruption.
The
That's
color
an 80s movie, but
of money, how much money they made off of all these Green Rabbit characters.
Oh yeah, millions upon millions of dollars.
Classic characters that we remember till this very day, just laid right in front of us. I think the last bit of like that like 90s Green was probably like Shrek, maybe. Might have been like the last Green character.
The last hurrah. And I mean Shrek was probably going to release in the 90s if everything went to plan.
Right, exactly. But I think Chris Farley's death really like they had to really restructure the whole movie. Right?
Isn't it crazy how Chris Farley died?
Yeah.
It's really sad.
It happens to people.
It's just crazy. Like, down by the river in a fucking RV doing meth.
God, that's sad.
Yeah,
that's really
that's
sad.
not exactly how he died, but yeah.
Wait, is it not?
I get what?
Didn't he die from an overdose?
Joking.
I thought he died from an overdose, right?
Yeah, not in a van down by the river. That's just the bit from one of the SNL sketches.
Oh wow!
He OD'd on on speedballs or something in a hotel room.
Jesus Christ!
They made a bit about his death?
Shut the fuck up, Toya. It's an old ass. What are you doing?
Wait, hold on. No, I'm confused. Wait, did they make a skit about Chris Farley's death?
It probably maybe.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
They're all friends with them.
I thought the Down by the River was like about Chris Farley or something. I was just like, that would be like in so bad taste.
Living in a van down by the river was like way before he died. That was when he was on SNL.
Okay, well, I didn't watch the skit. I just okay. Now I understand.
I legit thought you were like making a joke.
No.
And now I'm not sure anymore.
No, I'm not making a joke. I thought he actually died in a van down by the river doing meth. Which, and then you're just like, no,
funny,
that's just
like,
the SNL skit. And I was just like, wait, did SNL make a skit about him after he died? That's kind of fucked up.
Oh my god.
They used to work with that man.
That'd be pretty awesome.
They definitely joked about it though.
I feel like that's
when he was alive anyway.
It's probably what he would have wanted anyway, knowing because Chris Farley is one of an SNL original, right? Like it was.
He wasn't an original. You know, he was around in like the early '90s, but he was there for a while. He's one of the most popular members. It's a really sad story because like, it's like the tale as old as time of like substance abuse, just kind of and like low self-esteem. The guy,
Ripperoni.
That's what happens,
I personally never let Bobby Moynihan live it down. Every day, every time I see him, I say, "You're not Chris Farley." And he cries.
You're not Chris Farley.
Like
You'll never be Chris Farley. We used to have a Chris Farley, but not anymore.
Yeah. We had a good thing going. We had Sandler. We had Murphy. We had Rock.
But you had to go fuck it up. Awesome. Quick thing. Because I remember I was gonna say this back when we were talking about like how did Shadow the Hedgehog come back to life, and it was just never explained. It kind of reminds me of in the original.
I think it was never explained. I'm pretty sure it wasn't.
If we had Spiral here, you could probably answer the question.
Yeah, I'm just hedging my bets.
Yeah. That being said, I am reminded about the original TMNT comic, and the original one. At the end, they kill Shredder, like he gets blown up by grenades, right? And and they did this as kind of like a joke comic, but it was so popular they kept it going, and they brought back Shredder to life. But after all these years, they never explained why he came back to life. Like he just comes back, right? And I think I heard this from Red Letter Media because they had the guy who did the art for Batman v TMNT.
This is where I watched my parents die, Raphael.
Kind of a bummer, dude. But basically, he was saying that he was also wondering how did Shredder come back to life, and he was talking to Kevin Eastman. He was like they were boofing at the same event, and he asked him, and he said like, oh well, our plan at the time was that we saw an article about worms that were like used to kind of like they were used to decompose corpses, and then they would like something about like the tissue resembling human or something, or like imitating human bodies, and their plan was that that's how they bring back Shredder, is that they get him a bunch of like these kind of worms that reconstruct his body back together. And here's the fun fact that is never mentioned anywhere in the comics ever. This is just something Kevin Eastman just told them that they were thinking would be the reason. They just never like wrote it down in the comics, and hopefully they never will, because it's what's the point?
Really stupid.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like if they do it, yeah, it's fucking great.
Would it be like a side effect, or would it be like my body was perfectly recreated thanks to those worms?
Well, it was just business as usual.
Yeah, it was. He just kind of just shows up, and they're like, Shredder's back, and that's it. That's all you need. You just gotta know that he's back. You know, it's the whole.
It's not much better in the movie, right? Because like he gets literally thrown into a trash compactor and like crushed to death, and then he's just back in the sequel.
I think I remember that
can't worm your way out of that one.
Wait, how do we feel about the TMNT like live action, the old live action movies?
I love them.
I have not seen them in years.
I like them. People shit on the third one, but I'm like, I'm okay with this. It's not good, but
I have very fond memories of Secret of the Ooze. That was like the first time I think I consumed like TMNT content. That and the 2003 cartoon were like my big two like TMNT related pieces of media that I consumed.
I'm like a huge fan of Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go.
Oh yeah, I fucking love Go Ninja, Go. I just love like the
Vanilla Ice.
The logic of this movie is that Vanilla Ice saw these Ninja Turtles, and he's all like, yo, I'm going to freestyle a whole turtle ninja rap right now in this club.
Well, it just comes so naturally to him.
Right, exactly. And the movie...
This is just like the song I've been writing.
Yeah, the movie is like, not that... It's not as good as the first one. The first one's like way better. But that I just kind of just love how corny that second one is, and all the little bits and bobs. I did think it was kind of... Even when I was a kid, I thought it was kind of like shitty that when the Super Shredder shows up, they don't really fight him. All that happens is that he like knocks over the pier that they're under, and then it falls on him, and that kills him. And it's like, damn, I kind of want to see like a showdown with the Turtles against Super Shredder, but you can't have it all, I guess.
I hate how one of them is like, that's the end of the Shredder. It's like, gee, thanks. I totally didn't see it happen for myself.
It's pretty good, pretty good. That's got the cheesy stamp of appeal, and with that, I think we're at the end of our podcast. Thank you for listening. Unless anyone's got a final thing they want to say before I end it.
Do you still do the cancel thing?
Do you have someone you want to cancel?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, you guys get canceled. Someone, I don't mind. I just kind of
you're trying to make love, not hate these days. I understand.
I actually have someone. I actually have a whole fucking group I'd like to cancel. But you can go on first, Tech.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. So last time I canceled the Tyrant in the Resident Evil 1 because the fight was bullshit, and I've returned once again to bitch about Resident Evil. Nice. Resident Evil 4, the new game, it's really good. But they made it so that you can only get the laser aiming sight on like 3 weapons, and that makes me mad. So I'm canceling Resident Evil 4's aiming.
Who owns Resident Evil? Capcom?
Yeah, Capcom's once again under fire.
From Tectonic Improv.
Capcom, more like a Crapcom.
Oh, so I'm bringing back Crapcom. It's back.
Ooh.
You should do like a Crapcon month where every week you drop a new shitty Capcom game video.
Yeah, I just have to go back to like 2009 to 2014 and just like pick any sort of game they released back then.
Nice.
And I'll probably be set for like a year.
Nice.
I appreciate that lead-in, Tectonic, because that ties in perfectly with my cancel target of the week. I also want to cancel Capcom.
Ooh.
Because I was there, like, front row seat, edge of my seat, when they announced Pragmata. That initial teaser trailer with the astronaut and that highly detailed rendered city, and like the whole thing with like the floating in the sky with the vortex or whatever. I'm like, whoa, what is this game? Are they coming for Hideo Kojima's lunch? And then they said, sorry, the game is postponed till 2023. Well, it's 2023. Where's the game, Capcom? You know, why do I hear about Street Fighter 6 every single day of the week, but there's nothing telling me what the hell Pragmata is about?
It's deep down too.
I got two things. First of all, we were talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I just want to say I saw like a recent like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, and the turtles absolutely disgust me. I would beat them to death with hammers. Oh, God. I hate how these things look.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that one.
Well, what is this? These don't look like this. These look like new ones.
Oh, wow.
I know that.
Yeah, they're like new ones or something. And they look fucking awful.
Currently in the comic, because back when I entered at IDW, I actually caught up with the IDW Turtle series. But currently, I think in the comic, the last thing that happened was that some villain dropped like a mutant bomb on New York, and like 1/3 of the citizens became mutants. And these might be like either like mutated like kids or like offsprings of mutants or whatnot, because they don't look like the turtles from the current series right now.
There's also no turtle named Odin.
Yeah.
Odin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What famous Renaissance painter is this?
It's just
they're already stretching it with Venus.
I've seen this panel, and it like upset me to like an unusual degree.
I think I'm fine with like mutants looking ugly because they're like mutants. It's kind of the MO.
That's fair. Fair.
I just don't want to. I just can't see these things doing Ninja Turtle stuff.
Well, they look
like it looks like they have trouble standing up.
These look like kids, so they don't. They probably don't do too much Ninja Turtle stuff.
A child mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly.
The exasperated sigh of that guy in the background tells me everything I need to know. These kids, they will not go the distance.
Casey Jones?
I think it probably is.
It could be, or it could be someone else. There's a lot of characters in the IDW Turtle series, and it's pretty good. I think it's good. Last I read it, I really liked where it was going. It was pretty interesting. You said you had someone else you wanted to cancel, Toya?
Oh yeah, no, I want to cancel every one of my Steam friends.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, Tectonic already knows. Okay, so as you guys know, I like playing the Bleach Brave Souls gacha game. I really like it. And
Cheesy, I'm gonna need you to superimpose a picture of the man mining for diamonds.
Yeah.
Giving up.
So like the thing is,
on this part of the podcast,
okay,
it started off with like one of my friends. Every time I'd open up Bleach Brave Souls, he'd like get the notification on Steam, and he would just send me this. Hold on, let me get the comic. It's this stupid fucking comic of a man mining for diamonds, and it says "Keep gambling."
That's a good ass comic. I love it.
It's so annoying. I fucking hate. Here it is. And like, so every time I open up Bleach Brave Souls, he'd send me this comic, and like, I shortly talked about it on stream. But now, like, everybody who's like friends with me on Steam.
That was your mistake.
You're getting bullied, bro.
Yeah,
every time I open this fucking game, I get like fucking 7 messages with this stupid comic or like pictures of like diamond miners and shit, and like I get so upset.
Damn.
So is that a game like on the Steam store, or is this like a custom notification thing you have set up?
It's on the Steam store. Steam. Yeah, it's on Steam.
Okay.
That's pretty good. I fucking hate the fucking when the little that's like someone is playing this game pops up in the corner, because a handful of times, like when I'm like uploading a picture and the file window opens up, and I'm about to click open, that pops up. It'll be like Olsuke's playing Pizza Tower, and it's like, fuck, I can't exit out, asshole.
I thought you were gonna.
I just
say
don't
it's
like seeing it when I'm watching porn.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, this is pretty sexy. Oh, look who's playing Super Lucky's Tale. That just ruined the mood.
I thought you guys would be like worried that Steam's like snitching on you when you want to play Cybercom Pussy Attack.
No. I tell everyone who wants to know my opinions about Snow Days,
that's an actual game.
Visual
oh my
novel
god, that's
where
boobs.
you fuck your sisters and your mom.
I'm pretty.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty fine if people know I'm playing Cybercom Pussy Attack. Damn, she just got her titties out. Oh my god.
That's what I was saying. I didn't know they'd have that in the previews.
Okay, what's the rating on this? Is it got a good rating? That's very positive. Is it very?
It just came out.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking about like, is this very positive because it's actually a good game, or did everyone put very positive as a meme?
She's like, damn.
I mean, it's 18% off. Like, what a deal!
Might have to look into this later. I want to There was one game my partner told me about where it's like Five Nights at Freddy's, but you get to fuck the animatronics when they capture you. And they're all like thick and they have big titties, so you're.
What bothers me about those kind of games is that the failure state is the reward, and that feels really strange.
What's that? What was that one like the Onion quote with Shigeru Miyamoto where it's like I see ads for a game saying try not to come, but I play it. I'm like, no, it seems like coming is the goal of the game.
All right. Here's a review of Cybercom Pussy Attack by Neon Activator. All right, so he received the product for free, so it has like a little like notice there in case you like think he like was bought or something. All right, so anyway, friend bought this for me because I have a weird obsession with cyborg women. Never got hard because I spent 92% of the game playing Bejeweled but with extra steps. There's like 14 seconds of sex scene in total.
Damn.
Took me until the last level to fully understand the mechanics, probably because I didn't read any of the dialogue. But to be honest, the gameplay isn't bad. Mostly, or probably the most sophisticated porn game I've played so far, although most of the fun came out of playing it with a friend. Overall
fuck?
rating 6 out of 13 Reese's Puffs if you're looking for cyborg sex. 3 out of 4 Broken Ram Sticks if you want to play Bejeweled. All right, well, that was pretty helpful, I guess.
Yeah, I know I know a thing or two about intricate porn games. I do have the top speed run record on Trap the Cat on Newgrounds, which you can find on this channel, by the way. You can find me doing that.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Still undefeated.
Still in the feeling. I might go back and try to even get a more shorter time, maybe. One of these days.
Improve your store.
Yeah.
Score.
I feel like porn games are like showing up more and more like on the front page of Steam.
They're getting bold.
Under like
well,
they
I never see it on the front page, but there are new ones launched every day.
Yeah, they started allowing porn games a few years ago, but they're really weird about it. Where like they're very explicitly, like they pick and choose almost which ones get to go through and which ones don't. I know that the that Sweet Hex game that Colo Draws is making like got banned off Steam. Like they're not allowed to put that on.
Wow.
Damn.
Which, I don't know why that game can't be on Steam, but Cybercom Pussy Attack can. But whatever.
Someone.
It's probably the same reason like why every Jast release has to be like censored. But you can download a patch that puts all of, like the censored stuff back in after you buy it.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious like thing to do there. But maybe like I feel like if that was the case with Sweet Hex, they probably would have like made that known by now. They might just be straight up just like
racist.
Unallowed. Yeah, they're racist.
Damn.
Against Colo Draws. Clearly.
Could be. All right, I got someone. Well, it's not necessarily. It might be a cancel. It's more of an event. But this kind of happened earlier before this podcast happened, and
I'm so curious.
Yeah, I think
speak your truth.
I think Julian's aware. If you looked in my private server, I was complaining about this, and I'm not gonna say the name of this group because
you can't blue ball us like this.
Okay, you know what? I'll say it, but I'll censor it. All right.
Ooh,
okay.
But basically, there's this new cooperative just opened up called, and they're all about like trying to help like small indie comic people, right? And I joined. I even paid for the membership fee, which was just like $5. And I got put into the Discord server, and I kind of just been using it like I've used all other servers that I'm not very active in. I just post my art and then I leave, right?
Right.
And recently, because they have a catalog they want to catalog as many indie comics as possible, right? And I just finished Mick Pagliacci recently. I just finished like the pre-orders, and I'm gonna order the prints pretty soon. I'm just waiting for the PayPal money to come in. And basically, I try to put Mick Pagliacci in the catalog. Like I submit a form to do it, and then a couple days ago, they send me a rejection email that like we can't put McPaglachi in the cat. We reject it. We don't want to put it in it, and they didn't specify on why, but the way they worded it, it seemed like it was a quality issue, right? Like, it wasn't up to par, right? And I, quality is subjective, yada yada. But I looked into what they have in their catalog, and I read a couple of the stuff they have in their catalog, and let's just say the vibe that I'm getting from the catalog is that quality seems to be on a spectrum here, It
sounds to me more like this group is more concerned with their friends than getting a
That's what I was saying.
Out
I actually
there.
have some additional comments in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like just take a quick browse through their catalog, and I don't want to shit on anyone particular. I'm not going to shit on anyone particular, but just looking through these comics, reading a couple of them, it's very obvious the quality is on a spectrum here. You know what?
I want to pick out people specifically.
Well,
you're all fucking horrible. Kill yourselves.
Get rid of it.
Please bleep that all out.
Yeah, I'm gonna bleep that all out. Don't worry. Oh god.
I think my biggest gripe is that it feels like they are bending over backwards to like I want to say disclude. Is that a word?
Yeah. Exclude.
Exclude. Yes. God, I'm sorry. It feels like they're bending over backwards to exclude you, because I'm looking at the website and I'm thinking,
can't imagine
it doesn't kill you
Cheesy.
to include yet another comic. Like, what is this whole quality argument?
Yeah, and the whole I replied back, and I'm willing to bet I'm probably the first guy to reply back to a rejection email. Yeah, to have a problem with it, because it kind of feels like that I'm like, because the way they're talking to me, it seems like they're all new to this. Like, oh, no one's like gotten upset about getting a rejection email from us. But I said like, well, I replied like, look, it seems like that quality, like I wasn't really aware that quality all that mattered that much looking through the catalogs, because it seems like it's on a spectrum. It seems like the quality varies with each comic,
And what exactly does quality mean, right? Because it's just like, oh, your art's not good. Well, or is it like, is the writing not good? Like, what's the bar here?
And it's and yes, and like so I replied back to it, and they said that like they recommended that I go into the feedback chat in the Discord server, which I did, and I posted my comic there, and I said, hey, can I get feedback on this? Because for I want to know what about the quality in this comic excludes it from the catalogs. And guess what? No one fucking gave me feedback. They were more upset that I was upset about the rejection, right? Like that, like even one person was kind of like, "Why is Mick Pagliacci the hill you want to die on?" And I'm like, "Well, because it's my fucking comic, dude. It's the comic I made. I think the comic came out good. I think it's a great comic, and I think it's up to par with a lot of stuff you got in the catalog. I wasn't aware that quality was that big of a thing. It doesn't even seem like that big of a thing when I look through the catalog, right?" And they said I was being like a jerk, and I mean I was being a little jerkish. I admit that. But I was just kind of upset. I also didn't like that in their original rejection letter they said something about like once you develop your craft more. Like they said that to me.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a big yikes.
That's like
crazy.
Yeah,
I reserve that for people I hate.
Yeah, and I even brought that up in the feedback chat on their Discord, and everyone, like not everyone, but a handful of people were saying they're like, "Oh, that's normal for a rejection letter," and I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, but I guess I have more of a backbone for shit like this, because if someone told me that, I'm not gonna take that like laying down, especially if I know it's good. It's good enough for the catalogs. When I take a fucking look through it, I can see that it's fucking good enough for it, right? And they eventually got to a point because the thing is, even some people try to give me some criticism, and I kept turning it around, because it was like they said like, well, it just seems like Mick Pagliacci isn't really that original, and the joke is kind of poorly written. And I replied with like, poorly written joke, like the line, like if your comic has poorly written jokes, it can't go into the catalog, because I'm willing to bet I could probably find poorly written jokes in some of the comics in the catalog. I'm like willing to fucking bet. And I didn't say that to them, but it eventually like got to the point where they like timed me out, right? Because they were just going in circles. And like they said that, like, one guy that says that he'll give me thorough criticism if I post it on the forum, and I told him, just DM me the criticism, like just say it in the feedback. This is the feedback chat. Give me the feedback here. But he's all like, no, it's so annoying to write it on Discord. Just make a post on the forum and I'll reply there.
As opposed to where?
It's
not like
there's a forum.
Discord has a fucking like. Well, yeah, but it's not like Discord has like a character limit or anything.
I guess the thing is that he doesn't want other people to interrupt, because I did post it in the forum. I did post McPaglachi, and like, I even worded it like, what about my comic excludes it from the catalog? And I haven't read this guy's reply yet, but I see it, and it's pretty long. It's got a couple of paragraphs, and he like screenshots a couple of like issues that he has with it. I have not read it. I'm gonna do that like probably after this podcast, and basically it's like, okay, and there's some things I haven't mentioned to them specifically, because I think the obvious thing, my original idea was that maybe they don't like that I use copyrighted characters, like they don't like that it's a parody, because I really can't find any parodies on their catalog, so I thought it might be that. But if it is that, I wish they would tell me. I wish they would just be straight up, because I have a funny...
I feel like if that was it, then there wouldn't really be any problem with...
Yeah.
Because the reason they use now puts a lot of heat on them. But if their reason was actually like copyright concerns, then it'd be so easy to just say that, and like then the heat would be on like McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't be, it probably wouldn't be like a super fair argument, because it's parody, right? Mm-hmm. But it is an excuse.
Right. It's so... Yep, no, I gotcha. It's very much... I don't know. So, that being said, when they timed me out, one of the people who runs the place was telling me that, like, right, he timed me out. He told me I need to cool down, yada, yada. And he also mentioned, and this, I feel like this might be the real reason. He mentioned how, like, I can't be demanding to be put on the catalog if I'm not that active in the Discord server, basically. Because he says, like, all I really do is I just promote my stuff in the server and then I leave. And it's kind of like, well, gee whiz, I just had an ongoing campaign. Why do you think I was promoting so much? And also, I thought this was the space to do that, right? And it's kind of like, what is to get on the catalog? Is it transactional then? Am I supposed to give you a lot more? Am I supposed to give you more? Am I not giving you enough? Are you saying I need to do more of like stuff for the community so they can like bless me with like a catalog? Because if that was the case, they should have added that in the fucking submission form. Like they should have been like, how many fucking hours did you put in the yada yada?
Well, didn't you pay to join this thing?
Yeah, I paid to join. Which is so like, well, that should, and here's another thing.
Like that changes things.
Here's another thing. They promoted Mick Pagliacci on their social media because I put it down on their like listings of like comics to promote. And I feel like it gives the wrong idea if they're willing to promote it, but they're not willing to put it in their catalog. Like I really think it sends the wrong idea. And they had no problem when I said that. They thought they didn't really see the issue of what I meant. And I told them like you should probably double check who you're promoting, because what if you're promoting a comic with like hateful views or something? And some of them said like there's like no way we would ever promote a bigot. And it's like, well, you don't know that. You don't know if you're gonna promote someone.
Yeah, you're not checking. That's the point.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But like they were so sure of themselves. I guess because maybe they thought the whole way to like join like prevents any bigot from joining. But I could easily see like the hateful person getting through and joining the server. I think it's possible. I don't think there's not enough like kind of like gatekeeping going on, yada yada. But he said something about the fact that he said that all I do is like kind of promote my comic and I try not to like get involved, which is funny because I did chat in the other parts. I did go into the resources chat and whatnot to ask for like what printing company do people recommend. And what's kind of funny is that I think what it is that maybe they saw that I was just promoting, and then they thought by not putting me in the catalog was an attempt to humble me or something. Like they want to fucking humble me, and it's so like it's kind of having the opposite effect. I'm like more upset about it now, you know.
It also really doesn't like make sense to me, just in terms of like the general mechanics of a cooperative, because like it's a cooperative, everyone is working, you know. Usually you solicit like you know, direct, I guess, what do they call it, payback, you know, return on investment from people who like have the time to give.
And what's also kind of like, and this kind of goes back to a bigger problem that I'm like kind of annoyed with, is that like people really look down on you if you like try to promote your stuff, which is like insane to me, because it's like this guy who's like DMing me, who's like one of the head people in this cooperative, is telling me that like, yeah, you know, I'm a seasoned cartoonist, yada yada, and I'm like, if a seasoned cartoonist, you should know how hard it is to like get anyone to read your shit. You know, it's so fucking like, it's the most challenging shit to do, really. And that's kind of like why I made a comic based on pre-existing characters, because I know that makes it a little bit easier for people to want to read it. You know, when I went on the fucking Mega 64 like live stream, and I mentioned that I sent them a copy of Villainverse, they said that like, yeah, I'm not too interested in Villainverse, but tell me more about Mick Pagliacci, which is like, tell me more about the thing with characters I already know. Right? Because people are just attached more, people are more willing to read that. So that's why I did that, you know, because I want to make a living off of this eventually. And it's like, people don't really give you the fucking time of day because you're like one in a million. So you have to like promote yourself. You have to stand out. You have to do all these like little kind of schemes to stand out. But it's, for some reason, people don't like that. Like, they want you to be constantly humble. They want you to be like, oh, you know, I don't deserve this following. Oh, you know, following doesn't matter. I just do it for my art. And it's like, no, dude, fuck you. You don't really believe that. You don't actually fucking believe that. You wouldn't want to, like, you would, like, be fucking opposed to having motherfuckers follow you. No one's really fucking like this. I believe.
My first thought is it like a professional thing, or is it just like a friend group with a website? Because my logic is you would get miffed, or at least I get miffed, when there's like someone shilling in a social space. Like, you know, oh, we're all here to have fun, you know, we're dancing, we're drinking, and then there's this prick in the corner who's like selling his $2 shoes. Like, that's tacky. I don't like that. But in a professional setting, like, that's part of the course. Everyone's going to be promoting.
I only like promote in the designated promotion server. I never try to be a guy who like promotes it out there, promotes it somewhere where like people don't want it to be, you know. Yeah. I guess they want me to be more kind of like friendly or whatnot. And I mean, I get that, but it's like, I don't feel like I've done anything wrong to warrant not being part of the catalog. And the thing is, not even like necessarily that I want to be part of the catalog. It's kind of like, if there's a problem with my comic, I want them to be very like honest with me what the problem is, so they could like make that into a line that people shouldn't cross, because I'm willing to bet there's going to be more guys like me. I'm not the only kind of guy like this. There's going to be more guys like me who are going to hit this wall, and they're also going to be upset, right? I won't be like the last motherfucker that's going to be angry with them and DMing them, you know? So anyway, they should get canceled, is what I'm saying.
Speak your truth, my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously it was weighing on you, so.
Yeah, it's been, look, the only real course of action is like, I just have to become massive. I just have to become increasingly large, so no one can avoid me, which has always been the end goal, is just to become huge and round and Rubenesque. That's the final
rotund,
like a blueberry.
Exactly, like a huge, massive.
Please no.
Mexican blueberry.
Don't turn into a blueberry.
Cheesy, please don't turn into a blueberry, please.
We love you. Okay,
Thank
don't
you.
Do this.
Okay.
Death to Berry Boy.
And with that, I think we canceled everyone that deserves it. I think we did it, guys. Before we go, is there anything you guys want to promote?
Yeah. First of all, I want to promote my voice acting specialties. if you're ever in need of a male voice actor, I'm on Twitter at ToyaVA. You can either DM me or email me. Doesn't really matter. I would suggest just DMing me. Also, I do streaming on twitch.tv and YouTube. The links are in my Twitter.
Yo, Toya, you did an audition for my motion comic. I noticed.
Oh, did I?
No, you didn't.
I didn't know you were doing a motion comic animation.
I needed people that sound like Ronald McDonald characters.
Are they still open?
No, it's.
I don't know.
I already got all of them.
Oh,
sorry.
Rip.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
We gotta promote tech.
Well, speaking of motion comics, I actually just recently contributed to an audiobook for this story called Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei.
Nice.
It's the light novel from like 1986 that basically sort of started the entire Shin Megami Tensei series, because the book came out and then some like NES games got made that were inspired by it, and then Shin Megami Tensei was then inspired by that, or like spun off of that. So it's like the primordial soup of the entire Megaten franchise. So like fans hold it in high regard, and a guy on YouTube approached me to be the narrator for it. So I basically recorded. If you listen to this audiobook, you'll basically be hearing me for like a good 85% of the story.
Nice. Dude.
I was there for the premiere. It is very good.
I saw you. Yes. Yeah, they did a really good job. Everyone did a good job with their roles, and Kid Capes, the guy who organized it, even got like a sprite artist to make sprites in the vein of the Shin Megami Tensei series. So it has visual aid too, which I think is really cool.
That is really cool. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. So I recommend that, and of course, I have actual videos on my main channel, just like tectonicimprov.com, and that'll take you to my YouTube account.
Nice. All right.
I'm also running a campaign. Pre-orders have already closed for Mick Pagliacci's print run.
Yep.
But if you buy a ebook and you DM me your receipt, you are entitled to a sketch commission, which are normally very expensive. You get a book and you get a sketch commission. Get on it.
That's really cool.
Did they just DM you for it after they do it? Or
Yep, you can DM me on Twitter, VQCD_official, or Newgrounds. I don't really check my Newgrounds DMs, but if you're following me there, you can DM me there.
Nice. All right, I'm Cheesymanfredo. Me. Mick Pagliacci motion comic dropping soon. I'm trying to aim for this Friday, maybe. I usually say that and then it comes out like 2 days after. But that should be out hopefully soon. Depending, I think at the start of May, I might do another run of like Mick Pagliacci pre-orders. I got a couple of like little promotions coming down the way that will hopefully like entice more people. Help me make Mick Pagliacci massive so my enemies can't avoid me no more. And with that, I think you know where to find me, Cheesymanfredo, under everything. Looks like Twitter is dying, so I recommend you follow my Insta or my TikTok. I post most of my fart comics on TikTok, and they get pretty good traction there. You can also read all of Mick Pagliacci on my TikTok too.
Hell yeah.
And I think
Big Mac Pagliacci.
Big Mac hashtag Mick Revenge. Mick Vengeance. All right.
Cheesy, I one more thing is I will say I read that entire comic waiting for but Doctor, I am Mick Pagliacci. I did not know that those stories were different.
Yeah, no, I think that But Doctor, I think that one was I can't find how old that might be, but it might have been invented by Alan Moore maybe. I'm not sure.
He strikes again.
You can't escape him.
That son of a bitch.
But yeah, there's no doctor scene. When are we gonna get to the Doctor Factory?
yeah, exactly. I was literally fireworks factoring the entire time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think you might be like the third person to tell me that. Like, oh, I didn't know the doctor scene wasn't in the opera. I thought it was.
Well, I'm glad I'm not alone in my stupidity.
People thinking was it the epilogue? All right. With that being said, thank you for listening, guys. Bye bye. We're out of here.
Bye bye.
All right. Cool.